And we are back. You can expect the Missouri basketball team to make a nice jump when the new polls come out tomorrow. The 21st ranked Tigers won the CBE Classic in Kansas City earlier this week, beating Notre Dame by 29 on Monday, then blowing out 20th ranked Cal by 39 on Tuesday. The 5-0 Tigers returning home this afternoon, welcoming the Binghamton Bearcats. They play in the America East Conference. This was the Kim English show in the opening half, knocking down the three-pointer to get the scoring started. The senior from Baltimore was far from done. Another three ball from the corner. English scored 22 points in the first half alone. He was 8 of 9 from the field in the opening half, 6 of 7 from three-point range. The crowd was loving it. And more Tigers here. Matt Pressey, the steal, ahead to Michael Dixon for the layup. Dixon had 11. Phil Pressey didn't take a shot today, but he had 11 assists. The nice flip ahead here to Ricardo Ratliff, the big man, dunks it home. 49-31 Tigers at the half. More of the same in the second half. Marcus Denman, the steal. He'll go coast to coast for the layup. He had 13 on the day. Ratliff did not miss a shot. 7 of 7 from the floor. He had 18 points, but this one belonged to Kim English. 29 points, a new career high. He was 7 of 10 from three-point range. Missouri wins it easily, 88-59.
You never know when you're going to get in the flow state. It was going for me in the first half, but again, those are shots that Phil, Ricardo, Steve, and Marcus were finding me. So they were shots that we literally make 1,000 times a week after every practice.
We talked about this with our team, H&H, remaining hungry and remaining humble. You know, obviously when you have two great wins like we had in Kansas City, a lot of people are going to be patting you on the back. But we got to understand, you know, we can't let that affect us. As well as when we have a tough loss, we can't let it affect us. We got to come to work every day.
The Tigers cruise to 6-0 on the year. They've got another easy one Friday night when Northwestern State visits Mizzou Arena. The Missouri football team ended the regular season on a 3-game winning streak, giving the Tigers a 7-5 record. And believe it or not, that's good enough to put Mizzou in the BCS rankings this week. The Tigers check in at number 25 in the nation. Tigers rallied past rival Kansas at Arrowhead Stadium yesterday. For a while, it looked like the Jayhawks might pull off a huge upset. KU intercepted Tiger quarterback James Franklin 3 times in the first half, running out to a 10-0 lead midway through the second quarter. But the Tiger offense finally came to life in the second half. Franklin tossed a pair of touchdown passes to bring Missouri back. The Tiger defense played outstanding all day, allowing just 137 yards of offense. Missouri ends up with a 24-10 win, and Kansas officials say that was the last border war game with Missouri's move to the SEC. Tiger players, though, and Coach Gary Pinkel hope that this game will somehow continue.
Without question, this thing can continue if both schools decide they want to. It's not real complex, I don't think. You can make it work. And you know, I know we're certainly willing to do that, and you know, we'd like to keep this rivalry going, and you know, hopefully, you know, people get together and do what's right, and I think that can happen.
I hope it's not the last time that we play them. I'd like to play them again and to be able to go out there and compete again. So that's something we'll have to wait and see.
It's definitely a big game that everyone looks forward to every year, and it's just something, just, you know, for our fans, for our team. It's just not going to be one of those games that we can have, you know, circled and say beat KU. You know, it's KU week. We're not going to be able to have that.
What may have been the final border war game was, in fact, the last game for KU's head coach. Kansas fired Turner Gill today after 2 seasons in Lawrence. KU went just 5-19 in his tenure. That included a 10-game losing streak to end this season. The Tigers, meanwhile, will play on. They'll find out their bowl destination next Sunday. A primetime appearance for the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. KC hosting the defending AFC champion Pittsburgh Steelers. Chiefs up 3-0 in the first. Steelers driving, but Mueldy Moore loses the football. Punched out by Tamba Hali. Chiefs recover it in the end zone. Good break there for Kansas City, but a rough night for Tyler Palko. Threw a couple of interceptions in the first half. This one picked off early in the second quarter by Ryan Mundy. That would lead to this. Ben Roethlisberger, avoiding the pressure, hangs in there long enough to find Wesley Saunders in the back of the end zone. Pittsburgh would go up 10-3. Late fourth quarter was 13-9. Chiefs still in it, driving a chance to win it, but Palko picked for the 3rd time in the game. Keenan Lewis takes this one, and the Chiefs lose it 13-9. That is 4 consecutive losses for Kansas City. Rams and Cardinals meeting at the Edward Jones Dome in St. Louis. That is Nick Miller fielding the punt. The Rams just signed him earlier this week. Maybe they should have brought him in a little sooner. How about this for your introduction to St. Louis? An 88-yard punt return for a touchdown. Rams take the early 7-zip lead. But the Cardinals got one of their own in the third. Patrick Peterson, he returned a punt for a touchdown in overtime in the first meeting between these teams, and he does it again today. Burning the Rams once again, put Arizona up by 10. St. Louis, though, would come back, tying it up midway through the fourth. Sam Bradford to Brandon Lloyd's 16-yard connection. We're tied at 20, but the Rams defense could not stop Beanie Wells. The Cardinal running back set a franchise record 228 yards on the ground. This long gain set up the game-winning field goal. Arizona wins 23-20 as the Rams fall to 2-9 on the year. Former Mizzou standout Brad Smith turned in one of the best catches of the weekend. This touchdown reception for the Buffalo Bills. Look at Brad tip this pass up in the air and stays with it, makes the grab and dives in for the touchdown. Great catch by Brad. Bad news in the end, though, as Bills lose to the Jets 28-24. For the 10th time in the last 12 years, the Missouri volleyball team is headed to the NCAA tournament. Wayne Krecklo's squad received an at-large bid to the big dance after going 21-12 in the regular season. For the second straight year, Mizzou will open NCAA play at the University of Northern Iowa. Tigers pulled off 2 upsets there last year, advancing to the Sweet 16. Mizzou will play Florida in a first-round match at 5 o'clock on Friday. Northern Iowa, the host school, also the number 6 overall seed in the 64-team field, will play at 7 o'clock Friday against Niagara. The winners meet in a second-round matchup on Saturday night. The St. Louis Blues on the road playing the Columbus Blue Jackets. Megan asked how they did. Well, here you go. Down 1-0, 7 seconds left in the second period. Chris Russell pokes home the rebound, 1-1 game. Then in the third, nice passing on the power play. David Backus with the finish. That's the game winner. Megan can celebrate. The Blues win it 2-1 in Columbus tonight. There's your answer. She asked me.
Celebrating.
We know. Our very own Kermit Miller.
I thought she was going to punch you out when she found out they won. I had no idea you were such a big hockey fan.
Yeah.
Yes,
Learn
huge.
something new all the time.
My dad would be proud.
We'll be right back.